Bangladesh, a tiny rural school in one of the poorest parts of one of the most impoverished countries on earth. The school is one of around 150 run by the British charity Muslim Aid in villages where children would otherwise be unlikely to get schooling. Non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and other agencies like development banks are working to help plug the gaping holes in Bangladesh's education system.
Lots of gap still remaining due to considering the population. Bangladesh is a overcrowded, country. So even in the one village, you will find the 500 children is able to go to the school, but you will find only one primary school where accommodation is 100 or 200. So still, 300 is left over. So this gap is always you will find every villages in every town all over the country.
Across Asia, governments are being forced to re-evaluate and revamp their education systems. In the more developed countries, the challenge is to find ways to improve the skills of their workforces to prevent their countries stagnating and falling into what's called the middle income trap. In an underdeveloped country like Bangladesh, with a vast population of 160 million, the struggle is far more rudimentary and desperate. Even free education is no guarantee that people can afford to send their children to school. Girls are especially likely to miss out. Bangladesh is making progress though, thanks to initiatives like those of the World Bank, which effectively pay parents to send and keep their daughters in school.
If you look at a woman who's 50 years old today in Bangladesh, she has less than a 20% chance of having completed primary school. If you look at a 15-year-old girl today in Bangladesh, there's almost a 90% chance that she's completed primary school. So a huge, this is within one generation, a very huge amount of progress has in fact been made.
Even so, less than half of girls make it to secondary school. The Islamic Development Bank helps the government to fund and run this school for girls a couple of hours outside Dhaka. It's a madrasa, or religious school, although it also teaches secular subjects.
আশেপাশের লোক যারা নাকি কোনোদিন স্কুলে যাওয়ার চিন্তাও করতো না, মাথা যাওয়ার চিন্তাও করতো না, তারা বাড়ির পাশে দেখিয়া এই শিক্ষা প্রতিষ্ঠানে আসা শুরু করলো। মানুষকে আমরা যারা গরিব মানুষ খেতে মারে কাজ করে পোলাপানরে পড়ানোর কোনো চিন্তা করে নাই, মেয়েকে পড়ানোর তারও চিন্তা করে নাই, তা করে আমার বাড়ি থেকে বুঝাইছি যে আসো লেখাপড়া করাইলে তোমাদের ভবিষ্যৎ ভালো হবে, তোমার ছেলে ইঞ্জিনিয়ার ডাক্তার হইতে পারবো। তারা ওই কথায় সাড়া দিছে, শয়ে শয়ে ছেলেপেলেরা আসছে, ছাত্র সংখ্যা অনেক বাড়ছে, তো শিক্ষার মানও আমাদের ভালো হয়েছে।
The village next to the school lies amid sprawling rice fields. Yet most of the villagers are landless and impoverished, scraping a living from various types of fabric making. The education message is starting to hit home. Aid agencies have come up with a system to help parents like Shaira avoid having to make the painful decision between schooling their children and having them work to help support their families. They run schools offering flexible hours, allowing children to help their families earn money as well as get an education. A curriculum enlivened with storytelling, singing and dancing helps entice pupils in and prevent them from dropping out.
We took it as a kind of strategy and motivate the parents as well. We are arranging parents meeting. We will go home to visit and motivating the parents to send the school in the children in the school. That is why this way we are running, and do 2-3 years. This is the course, and after 2-3 years, these children can go in the kind of up to 5 level in the 4 or 5 level in the government primary school. This is kind of mainstream education.
But there are gaps at the higher levels too.
That's a problem for both men and women in Bangladesh, that quality tends to be low in many different types of schools. And the education system may need to be reoriented toward some of the more technical and vocational skills that are in great demand today. For example, in ICT or in engineering, where there are tremendous shortages throughout Asia.
This vocational training center in Dhaka offers free training to selected people who are living in poverty. 13-year-old Mohammed Soni Parvag dropped out of school to help his family sustain itself. He's taking an electrical course to learn how to repair air conditioners and refrigerators. The center also offers training to destitute women, many abandoned, widowed or divorced, or the children of single mothers who face a life of abject poverty. Muslim Aid then provides seed money to set them up in small businesses, as they did with this young woman who runs a sewing stall from the house she shares with a single mother in a Dhaka slum. She earns less than $2 a day, but it's a substantial boost to their income. At a higher level, and to try to improve the standard of much-needed technical education, Muslim countries have set up and now fund the Islamic University of Technology in Dhaka. It has about 1,000 students, 70% from Bangladesh, but also from 25 other countries. The competition for places underlines the shortage of this kind of education in Bangladesh.
Every year we are getting at least 10 times more applications than the number of students that we can take. And also the applicants are among the best students of this country. Similarly, students coming from other countries, we get a lot of applications from them and we can take very few of them.
The university is operating under more constraints than just tight capacity.
The course that we are following is very much similar to the courses followed in Western countries, particularly American universities. So, as far as the students' learning is concerned, we don't see that there is much difference, the material that we provide to the students. However, we have some limitations in terms of our laboratories or the number of teachers that we have. However, we are in a continuous process of increasing our capability in those terms.
Perhaps the only university in the country with no such worries is a brand new institution in Chittagong on Bangladesh's southeast coast. The Asian University for Women is funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's attracting top quality teaching staff and some of the brightest young women from across the region. Many of them are the first females in their families to go to university, let alone study abroad. Parwana Fayaz comes from a Taliban stronghold in Afghanistan.
15 friends, your mother, your brother are always with you.
My first goal is that indirectly I should change the people's mind, especially my relatives' mind, because most of them are opposite of like what I'm doing here, where I'm far from home and studying in a country that is much far from Afghanistan.
The Asian University for Women also provides an opportunity for Bangladeshi women, many from underprivileged backgrounds, to receive a first-class higher education, something the country desperately needs.
It makes economic sense, and it makes social sense, and of course it makes sense from the point of view of building a nation.